Merchandising.
Yeah, that's a good way to start this. That lets people know that we're still their regular old friends that don't want anything from them except their money.
Now
What's up?
We've got merch for you.
Go to wehaveconcerns.com/shop and check out the new Brock Life t-shirt, Salmon Cannon t-shirt, Jetpack Rescue Squad t-shirt. So many t-shirts. Wait. So in the past games, you would get things, but you wouldn't.
You could still use them for stuff, but a lot less than what you can do now. Now you can like build cities and have populations and crap.
This just sounds like exactly the kind of game I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it.
I'm not gonna like this game. I'm so glad I pre-ordered it. Welcome to We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Cotard syndrome.
Oh,
Do you know what
this
that
one.
is?
Yes, this is when people who are alive believe with all their heart that they are dead people.
This is a thing. This was a story sent to us by Nate Prouty, who is always hanging out on our monthly patron hangouts.
What up, Nate Prouty?
Yeah, really cool seeing him this recently.
If you haven't been to one of our hangouts, if you aren't a supporter of the show yet, head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns and jump in a video chat with us. It's fun.
It really is. Cotard syndrome. This is where living people come to the conclusion that they are dead, and there is nothing that you can do to convince them otherwise. It is a neurological disorder where you are convinced thoroughly that you are dead.
I've always wondered with this, so you're super convinced you're dead, but people are talking to you. You're talking back.
Some people call it the Bruce Willis syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Bruce Willis.
I don't understand. Does Bruce Willis have Cotard syndrome? Because that sounds serious.
Yeah. Well, he's been zombie walking through the Die Hard movies for years. So
thought you were gonna zig and you zagged.
I zagged. Yeah. No. This is a crazy thing. So there's this article that Nate sent us is about this woman in 2013, Esme Wang, who one morning before sunrise woke up her husband and said, "Oh my God, I realized something, honey. It all makes sense to me now. You remember last month when I fainted and I've been feeling terrible ever since? I didn't faint. I died. And I'm in the afterlife right now. And I'm so happy that I finally figured it out. And I love that you're here with me and I can still communicate with you, but I'm dead."
So she believes that she is on the spirit plane. And that her husband is not, but that she is some sort of a ghost lady?
Yes, she's convinced that she is in the afterlife, that she is, whatever this spectral plane is, she's able to interact with her loved ones and still go through her day. But the bad thing is that shortly after that, there was this euphoric sense of like, oh my God, I figured out why I felt so terrible. She realized that she was dead. And after that, after the euphoria left her, she had several months where she just didn't feel the need to do anything. She wouldn't eat. She wouldn't do anything. She'd just lie around because she was dead. She felt like she's just waiting to be moved on to the next place.
Now, this doesn't always in people manifest itself as a belief that they are in the afterlife. For some people, they just genuinely believe that they're dead and gone. And that... Not that they're ghosts, but that there's some sort of weird, elaborate trick going on or something like that. It's very strange to me how people can reconcile this.
That's why they call it a psychosis, is because you have to do such mental gymnastics to justify your position, and no amount of logical explaining or anything will convince you otherwise. She lost the desire to talk or eat or go to the bathroom. She wouldn't do anything. She wouldn't work. Because what's the point when you're already dead?
Yo, what if you said that you had Cotard syndrome and you just stopped going to work?
I mean,
I know that this is like a serious thing and everything, and I don't want to make light of it, but at the same time, what if I just told everybody I was dead and I didn't do any work anymore?
Yeah. Cotard.
I'm straight Cotarded, yo.
Yeah.
I got Cotarded, and now I'm not able to. I'm a ghost person or not or whatever. I'm a corpse.
They prefer the term death-able.
Jeff,
Deathly capped?
I can't help you anymore with the organizational and website stuff of the site because I'm straight Cotarded.
Oh, man.
I'm dead.
You're not, though.
I'm dead, and I can't open an Excel spreadsheet anymore.
No, all you have to do is look. I'll just click.
Oh, my hands don't work on the buttons because they're ghost hands.
That's not
Jeff.
how death works. And
Oh,
look, no.
no.
Look, there's characters on the screen right now.
But there aren't, Jeff.
There are. Look at them.
No, that's a ghost screen. Jeff, I'm going to need you to do something for me, even though I'm dead.
How are you communicating with me if you're dead?
How are you communicating with me if I'm dead, Jeff? How are you doing it? Who knows how long this will last? I need you to do something for me, Jeff.
Okay. Anything for you, buddy.
I need you to keep doing the podcast without me.
Oh.
And I need
I can do that.
to keep sending the money to my widow.
Well, that doesn't make...
Send the money to my widow, Jeff.
But you're dead.
I'm dead and she needs this. She
Yeah.
needs it, Jeff, and I'm dead and I can't help and I wish I could.
I mean, I like your wife a lot. And I I'm happy to...
You're not allowed to fuck my wife even though I'm dead.
But you're dead.
But send her the money, Jeff.
All right.
Send her the money.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Disneyland.
But dead people don't go to Disneyland.
Don't tell me how dead people live.
Are you just going to
You can't
constantly
tell me-
ride the Haunted Mansion ride
You
over
can't
and
tell
over?
me-
Is that the only one you're
I
going to
find
ride?
the Haunted Mansion very offensive. As a dead person, I find the Haunted Mansion to be super offensive
Yeah.
and culturally insensitive.
You're going to stick to Tomorrowland then? Because that seems ironic.
I don't like Space Mountain. It makes my back hurt. It's too jerky.
But you're
I'm gonna
dead.
go-
It shouldn't matter.
Jeff, don't tell me how dead people are.
Okay.
That's very offensive to me.
All right.
You're not being sensitive
That's
to
true.
my needs as a dead guy. And what I need right now is a ride to Disneyland, and then you need to come back here and record the rest of the podcast.
You can't just...
Because my widow needs the money, because I'm about to spend a lot of money at Disneyland, because they have those collectible Mickey vinyl figures.
Yeah.
And I need them in the afterlife.
Well, I can't argue with that logic.
Ooh, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Jeff.
So I'm giving you a ride to Disneyland.
Ooh, or you can just let me your car.
Wait a minute. You can't type on the keyboard, but you can drive my car?
Jeff, the afterlife is very complicated, and the spirit plane has its own rules and laws.
Name any of them. Any rule.
I can't use an Excel spreadsheet, but I can drive.
Seems like an oddly specific rule. Damn it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to convince everybody I'm straight Cotarded.
So this is from Jules Cotard, who first described this syndrome in the 1800s, 1880 actually. He talked to this 43-year-old woman who affirmed that she has no brain, no nerves, no chest, no stomach, no intestines, only skin and bones of a decomposing body. That's what she thought.
Oh,
She
wow.
thought she was decomposing and had no innards.
I hope she was constantly apologizing to people. If I thought that
I
I was a
apologize
corpse,
for the smell. I'm sorry for the terrible odor.
If I came into people's places, I'd just be like, thanks so much for having me over for dinner.
Oh, I'm happy to see you.
I am so sorry that I am slowly decomposing into your couch, and I will pay to have it cleaned.
But
I apologize.
It doesn't. I don't. You smell fine.
That's so nice of you.
Huh.
You were a good friend to me when I was alive.
Oh. Are you actively urinating right now?
Oh, when you die, your body voids its bladder and bowels at the same time.
You could have gone to the restroom. Just.
I'm dead though, so I didn't know it was gonna happen.
Well, do you? Okay. Well, I guess we'll clean that later. You want to come eat something? Because I made a 7-layer dip. And we got delicious pretzel bites.
Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't have any finger food on account of the fact that I'll leave my rotting corpse of flesh in the bowl.
Oh.
And that's not cool.
Oh.
I'm also urinating again, and I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
But I am dead, and so I apologize.
Oh, man. Well, I guess...
But I would be. I would be apologizing all the time if I thought I was a corpse.
Yeah.
I would be. I'd just be like, I'm so sorry. Like, how do you...
It almost feels like you think you're a zombie.
Yeah, how do people with Cotard handle social situations is something that I've always wondered.
Well, it sounds like they just don't do them. They don't go anywhere. It's not like these people are going about their daily lives. Sure. They gave up on life. They're like, well, I'm dead. What's the point?
But when somebody comes to talk to you and you think you're a rotting corpse, like, do you apologize for being a rotting corpse? Or do you ask them why they want to talk to a rotting corpse? Do you ask them how, do they ever question how they're talking back if they're a rotting corpse?
He says, Cotard said that the first factor was a failure to react emotionally to anything.
Whoa. Okay. So you literally don't care if you're...
You have no emotional response. It basically, you just stop giving a shit because you think you're dead.
Jeff, I have had Cotard syndrome.
I know. I feel like you have it every Tuesday.
I've had it my whole life.
You have periodic and recurring Cotard syndrome.
I do not give a fuck, Jeff.
I know. Yeah. Well, about a Cotard. I do not give a shit about what you just said. Okay, I'm
okay, it's gone.
Cotard off. We can
Every
move
time
on.
you talk to me, I feel like a corpse. I have acute Cotard syndrome.
I have acute specific Cotard syndrome. I feel localized Cotard syndrome.
I feel it when Jeff talks to me. I feel it at government offices. I feel it when my wife puts on reality TV. I have very acute and localized Cotard syndrome.
Yeah.
It's easily aggravated.
Yeah, you should really get that diagnosed.
Wait, sorry. I'm just easily aggravated. Do they know what part of the brain this comes from? Have they tracked this down at all?
No, it says that this woman from 2013, this Wang woman,
Esme, yeah,
she got medical treatment for Lyme disease, and that after she got rid of the Lyme disease infection, her Cotard syndrome went away. So it could be connected to things that cause extreme fatigue. It said less than 2 months after she first woke up with her delusion, the feeling of being dead faded. And she says, the delusion lifted completely without fanfare. There was no beam of light from the heavens. I was just going along, and somebody pointed out that I was acting different, and I realized I was alive.
It was a miracle.
No, but she's saying there was no miracle.
Risen.
It was just like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. I'm alive now. I'm alive. I realized
I was dead for a while. I'm alive now. But she looks back on it. When she looks back on it, she doesn't think that she was dead. She realizes that it was weird and she wasn't dead.
Yeah, she says she looks back on it and she goes, I realized I was never dead at any point, but there was no like magical moment where I realized I wasn't dead. It just, at some point somebody was like, hey, you seem good today. And she's like, yeah, it's because I know I'm alive and not a corpse shambling through life.
How many days of your life have you really realized that you're alive? Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, there was that time that I was, that I broke out of Shawshank prison.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized.
I was going to say, the only time I feel it is when I'm at Disneyland, Jeff.
Oh, yeah?
Jeff.
Yeah.
I need you to lend me your car.
God damn it.
And $200.
That's not going to even get you into Disneyland.
I have a season pass.
Oh, good.
I need the $200 for Mickey Mouse vinyl toys.
Oh, that's a lot of toys.
Not really. It is Disneyland.
Yeah, you're right. Said that once the delusions were gone, she still felt fatigue, weakness, insomnia, and joint pain, possibly the effects of her late-stage Lyme disease.
I wonder if this isn't some sort of almost a defense mechanism against these things that make you feel achy, painful, lethargic, and unable to think coherently, very, very tired. My friend had Lyme disease, and it was like that, where she was like, always exhausted, couldn't string thoughts together, couldn't really feel like, couldn't get emotionally involved in things.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some minds don't develop it as sort of like a reaction to that, or a
like I'm so
mechanism.
Different from how I expect myself to be. There must be some reason for it.
Yeah.
And that reason I can only assume to be I'm dead. That's like my body is not reacting the way I assume my body to react. So therefore, I will construct this narrative in my head.
Or, maybe it's connected to obsessive thinking. Have you ever so for a while when I was a kid, for whatever reason, this happened for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
I had slight obsessive tendencies when I was a kid.
Yeah. For example, like collecting Disney vinyl figures?
No, Jeff,
obsession?
Those things only go up in value. This is really, it's actually better than the stock market.
Oh, okay.
But I would do things like, there were 2 weeks where I literally thought that I had to swallow every 15 to 20 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. It was just this weird thing that I had for 2 weeks. I don't know why. But I couldn't remember ever not swallowing for 30 seconds or every 30 seconds.
Yeah. Like you had always done it?
Like I had always done it, or like I was just now noticing it.
Right.
And then it would go away. Or then I also did the thing, I had a couple obsessive things where I wouldn't step on cracks.
No, you didn't want to break your mama's back?
I didn't believe anything like that. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It seemed
there was no
sloppy.
repercussions?
It seemed sloppy and wrong.
Huh.
It just
but there was
seemed
no, like, you didn't think that the ground was going to open up?
No, you just couldn't do it. It was just don't do that. Wow. It's wrong.
Huh.
And so for a little while, I was very much like that. And the way I got rid of it was by then stepping on every crack.
Yeah.
Because I realized it was some sort of cyclical thing with myself. And so then I would do every other crack, and then I would create these really intense patterns, which some people would tell you is like, okay, well, now you're dipping into OCD land.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I knew I didn't have OCD. So I was just trying to create a pattern that was too complicated for me to remember or keep track of. And when I did that, it went away. But there have been a couple times in my life where I've fallen into like thinking these things that are clearly not true. And I just wonder how common that is with people and in what ways it manifests itself. And if Cotard syndrome isn't just one way this happens.
It certainly seems that way, right? And it's so temporary. It lasted only 2 months for her.
But for some people, it's their life.
Yeah.
Like they spend their life thinking this. And it's really strange. Like how, if we don't know where it happens in the brain or why, how do we help somebody that has it?
Yeah.
And how is it, and it's one of those things that's so rare, how much study can really be put into it? Like how many resources do we have to put towards this syndrome?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff like that where it is very rare, it is very uncommon, and so you just hear about these edge cases, and some guy's like, I want to coin a term for it, but who knows if it's its own thing or if it's sort of
it's just some guy who like runs around all the time. There's so many things named Cotard because Jules Cotard was not any sort of scientist or doctor.
No,
he was just a guy who would notice a thing.
A narcissist.
Hey, that doesn't seem to have a name yet.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Jules.
Come on, Jules.
No. You don't have a name for that object.
It's a Danish.
No, it's not. It's a Cotard roll.
Oh, come on, man.
Jules out.
Why do you guys want to finish the rest of these Cotard rolls?
Don't do that. Don't do that because then he wins.
Well, but I mean, it is a little different than the other Danishes we had.
It is different than the other Danishes. Shit. It's a Cotard roll.
It's just easy shorthand is all I'm saying. This is because I want to have these again.
Yeah.
And I just want to
but
know.
I don't want to have a Danish.
If I tell...
You're welcome! God damn it, Jules.
The name of that kind of conversation you had is a Cotard conversation.
Well, it makes sense because you're talking about a thing that didn't have a name and then does have a name, and the name,
we
it's a Cotarded.
Yeah.
God damn it.
He's good. Well, I guess.
Have you never had anything like this? A weird thing that you like just believed with your core that was clearly untrue?
I definitely have the weird compulsion behavior things. Like there is, this is weird. I don't think I've ever really told anybody this. There's a street here in the valley, well, in Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, that is Hatteras is the name of the street, and it's on my way to the gym.
Yeah.
And every time I drive there, the first time I saw it, I imagined that there was this game show where you saw a picture of something super close up, and you had to decide if it was a hat or an ass. And so whenever I drive, I'm not making this up, dude. This is like weird in my head.
Go on.
I couldn't make this up, right?
Right.
And so every time I see that street sign, alone in my car with no one around, I always, without fail, will become the game show host announcer and say, hat or ass? Like you just started on the game show.
In your mind,
is that the weirdest thing ever?
Are these pictures like how close are these pictures where a hat looks like an ass? You see like
a bowler, like a bowler has like the divot in it.
Yeah.
If you get really close up, maybe it could be an ass, like from a certain angle.
Or a fedora.
Yeah, fedora might be an ass. Is it a hat?
Could be an ass dimple
or an ass.
I mean,
seriously.
I'm just gonna say if you haven't mailed this idea to yourself.
Yeah, right. This is copyright Jeff Canada. Hat or ass?
Hat or ass? I'm gonna say it's a bowler.
Judges, it was an ass. You lose.
Excuse me, Jeff.
Yes. Judges.
We've decided we're going to accept it because it was the ass of a professional bowler. Could you clarify with the contestant? Guys, have you ever had any sort of compulsive things like this, have you
ever thought you were dead?
Have you
for
ever
a
thought
while?
you were dead?
Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Yeah, any of these questions. We would like to hear answers to any and all of them. You can tweet at us. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those hat or ass. And hey, you like the show?
You're pausing because you were expecting me to answer, and I feel like I shouldn't.
No, I was choking. I was making the international sign for choking.
Oh, well, I do like the show.
God damn it! I wasn't talking to you.
I don't ever know.
If you do like the show, we would love it if you went to iTunes and gave us a 5-star rating.
Oh yeah, those 5-star ratings actually help people find the show. It raises our ranking on iTunes, and it's really the only way people can find this show.
Yeah, but they're going to ask you to write a review to go along with your rating. Don't do that.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
Nobody
reads them.
those things. But what you could do is just tell us a story. No, fuck that. Pitch us a game show.
Yeah, we want to hear a game show.
Give us your game show idea.
Don't be stealing my hat or ass idea.
No,
That's
that
gold.
one's already done.
That's gold.
But leave those and help out the show, and maybe also television programming as a whole.